As mentioned in the previous episode, after being persuaded by Chitose, Yamazaki returned to school, determined to change and prove his detractors wrong. After some time and effort, Yamazaki's appearance underwent a significant transformation. When Chitose asked when he planned to meet with his former club members, Yamazaki replied that there were still 2 weeks left. Not wanting to waste the efforts of Chitose and the others who had helped him, he vowed not to slack off until then. While referring to Chitose as his friend, Yamazaki seemed somewhat nervous. Chitose encouraged him to speak his mind boldly if he had something to say. Seizing the opportunity, Yuko asked his staff member to take a photo of them as proof of their friendship. The next day at school, Chitose noticed a group of people surrounding Yamazaki with ill intentions. Even Yua, who tried to speak up for Yamazaki, became a target of their bullying. Just then, Yuzuki and Kazuki also arrived at the classroom. Chitose asked them to help drive the group away. One of the boys Atomu questioned Chitose, asking when his taste had sunk so low as to be friends with someone like Yamazaki. Chitose retorted that his choice of friends was nobody else's business. After a heated exchange, the tension between the two sides escalated. Seeing the situation at a stalemate, Atomu threatened Yamazaki not to cause trouble for Chitose before leaving. On the way home from school, Chitose worried that Yamazaki's newly built confidence might be shattered. Just then, Haru suddenly passed by and greeted Chitose enthusiastically, pulling him along to exercise for a while. Haru noticed that Chitose seemed troubled and asked what was bothering him. When Chitose seemed reluctant to answer, Haru challenged him to a basketball game. The loser had to answer any question the winner asked. Unsurprisingly, Haru, the basketball team's ace, won the game. True to his word, Chitose told Haru he was worried about Yamazaki. He felt responsible for encouraging Yamazaki to change and prove himself, fearing that if the plan failed, he would be to blame. However, Haru believed it was Yamazaki's own decision. Much like a coach who can only offer help when a player hits a bottleneck and must trust them on the field. What Chitose needed to do now was believe in Yamazaki's determination. After hearing Haru's words, Chitose felt much lighter. He challenged Haru to another contest to see who could jump farther, with the loser having to confide in the winner unconditionally someday in the future. Haru accepted without hesitation. As for the outcome, only the twinkling stars in the sky knew. That evening, Yuzuki, who was also worried about Chitose, called him. Seeing that Chitose no longer seemed troubled, she shifted the conversation to when Chitose had helped Yamazaki earlier. She noted that after Yua, he had chosen Yuko instead of her, thinking she could use the opportunity to make Chitose owe her a favor. Chitose replied that even without a favor, he wouldn't refuse a request from a beautiful girl. To his surprise, Yuzuki asked if that meant Chitose would agree to become her lover. Caught off guard, Chitose quickly deflected the question with a joke. A few days later, during a football class, Atomu and his friends challenged Chitose. Yamazaki worried that his involvement would hold Chitose back, but Chitose reassured him, saying he would pass the ball to Yamazaki at the perfect moment. With no other choice, Yamazaki reluctantly joined the game. However, having been a shut-in for so long, Yamazaki was clueless about sports. When presented with a perfect scoring opportunity, he not only missed the ball but also fell to the ground. His clumsy performance drew laughter from the opponents. Atomu asked Chitose how long he intended to keep playing along with someone like Yamazaki. Ignoring Atomu, Chitose helped Yamazaki up and told him to treat it as just a game. Yet, repeated failures left Yamazaki increasingly discouraged. After witnessing Chitose's impressive goal, he became even more convinced he could never become someone like Chitose. After the game, Yamazaki overheard Chitose and Yuko joking about his performance on the field. He thought Chitose was mocking his failure and had only included him in the game to highlight his own coolness. Yuko angrily asked Yamazaki if, after all this time together, he really believed Chitose was the type to laugh at others' failures. Chitose, however, told Yuko not to get angry at Yamazaki, admitting that his own actions had led to the misunderstanding and apologizing to Yamazaki. Overwhelmed, Yamazaki turned and fled. On the way home, Yuko asked Chitose if it was really okay to leave Yamazaki alone. Chitose replied that he had only promised to help Yamazaki for 3 weeks, and now that the deadline had passed, he believed the current Yamazaki would amaze those who had once laughed at him. Although always helping others, Chitose never considered himself a hero, yet Yuko believed that true heroes are never aware of their own heroism. Her words left Chitose deep in thought. As for whether Yamazaki's plan will proceed smoothly, stay tuned to my channel for the latest updates on the new series.